occasionally reference tropes like lampshading, sesquipedalian loquaciousness, as long as it sounds foreign. What do you mean it's not symbolic? And cluster F-bomb, often in its coarser, uncensored form. I've yet to become a master of tossing around trope names, but I hope to someday.
Miss Troper, sometimes when narrating her life, slips into TV trope-style third person. This same troper conversational troped in a dream. Yes, a freaking dream!
The infection has spread. This editor's vocabulary, once famed for its breadth and long words, has
I almost call myself this troper all of the time on the internet. I also am always thinking of tropes that would apply to the various things that happen to me.
Wolf Ryuzaki has recently taken up the habit of referring to multiple people as either a jerk-ass or a magnificent bastard, which, luckily, no one has questioned yet, as well as a brief utterance of Chekhov's gun during an episode of Danny Phantom.
I, the Omega Metroid, am currently working on littering my vocabulary with tropes. I'm not as good at it as the rest of you yet, though.
Despite often decrying the overuse of the word on this site, Spirit Tsunami has found himself using squick as though it were an actual verb.
32 Footsteps not only have used Doomy Dooms of Doom in a casual conversation, he's convinced others that invoking the trope is a guaranteed way to make an impression of Doom.
This troper and a long car troop of friends exclaimed upon the wish to stop at a totally empty rest stop. Oh, hell no, I'm genre savvy.
Zephyr had to describe the Xanatos Gambit to a bunch of friends after accidentally referring to a villain's plans by that name. He'll often mutter trope names beneath his breath as he notices them, which annoys the crap out of some people.
Every time Danuke hears something ridiculously unbelievable, he answers with, "It's like saying epileptic trees exist."
I described Aragon to my English class as a boring, invincible hero jerk-ass that doesn't get nearly as what-the-hell hero moments as he should, and honestly should be described as a Byronic hero if he wasn't such a damn Mary Sue. The rest of the English class was spent on me explaining all the terms, the word trope, and Xanatos Gambit, the evil overlord list, Jinra Savi. I spent an hour describing this site. I got a 124% with the note of way to expand our knowledge of the literary building blocks. I crossed it out and wrote tropes.
This troper's best friend probably hates him because the troper keeps using terms from the site.
I want to smack every maroon on YouTube and DeviantArt I see using any TV trope-specific phrase, especially when they use it more than once a paragraph or in conjunction with others.
The Space Mumbo tried to annotate her entire copy of Jane Eyre for English class using only tropes. Strangely enough, her English teacher did not appreciate the term scenery porn in the sophomore's Victorian literature. Also unappreciated was the mention of Lesier when Jane was in bed with Helen, and high-octane nightmare fuel when Bertha was discovered.
This troper has noticed that she keeps mentioning tropes in any and all English essays she writes. Perhaps this is the reason why I don't get top marks?
Alfinch Kid has gotten in trouble for using terms like lampshade hanging and subversions and similar common tropey terms and valuations of media in the English class.
Across the Stars once mentioned retiree and AP Literature was glared at by her teacher and shut up for the rest of the class.
After Zelnor quoted tropes in class, his Scottish teacher proceeded to happily question him about it, then denounced tropes as time-wasting and practically useless outside of studying literature and generally curb-stomping him. His parents did the same. Isn't it sad TV tropes? Semicolon tilde semicolon.
Ribbons has dedicated herself to learning as many tropes as possible, so that one day her sentences will be indecipherable to all but a select few, allowing her to feel like she is a cut above all others and furthering her superiority complex. Her thought process and note-taking methods are already there.
Eobox has been known to describe himself as a butt monkey and the chew toy to his psychologist.
I'm always getting funny looks when I watch TV/movies with non-tropers because whenever I see an obvious one, I yell out the name of the trope, or if it happens in real life, and confuses everyone in the room. For example, during the Generator Rex Season 1 finale, one of the villains declines the use of an elaborate death trap. I immediately yell out, "OMG, he's John Wasabi!" much to the confusion of my younger brothers.
Spunky Kate does this on a very regular basis. Try explaining it when you start referring to somebody as raping the dog to your high school peers. Seriously, just try it.
This trope has, for example, replaced the word slash with ho yay in their vocabulary and is trying to get their sister addicted for the express purpose of being able to communicate completely in tropes in public. And, being a budding comic book artist slash writer, has begun frameworking their plot lines using tropes.
This happens to this troper a lot. I think, talk, write, and yell with tropes in my language normally. Some examples are constantly being pestered by others at school to the point where I yelled, "This ends now, guys. Seriously, what did I do to deserve the spot of the school butt monkey?" Following this was a visit to the principal's office where I explained said trope. I have referred to myself as a deadpan snarker, said, "Oh man, guns are worthless," when I was playing Spiral Knights. And the best example was when a girl said my only friends were 3 kids and 30 cats. Cut to 1 week later where we were both at a meeting. She said I only had 1 friend, and I replied, "No, you said about a week ago that I have 33. You just got brick joked."
I hope you're happy. I have heard that your video had an influence on the decision to delete all examples and troper tales on the perverse sexual lust page. The examples were funny. You were obviously amused. Well, I hope you're laughing now, because this little video... TV tropes is starting to suck. What was once actually a haven for free speech is starting to become overrun by people with gentle sensibilities by showing off only the worst. I don't know what to say other than, I hate you, and hope you realize the good thing you had a part in destroying. Gaping asshole. Really?